our last class, we started with sewing a pencil skirt, and I said I'm using the remaining fabric for a jacket. So here is the tutorial for the jacket of the skirt. It's supposed to be a kimono jacket, but my fabric is not enough. I used 3 yards, and I need 2 yards for my kimono jacket. So I'll just make a normal jacket and I'll fix the sleeve to it to make it look as if it's a kimono jacket. So I've folded my fabric into 4. This is what I have left from the previous video. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I folded it into 4, and I've cross-checked the measurement. I'm having 12.5. It will be enough for what I want to do. Now I'm going to cut the front and the back together. This is going to be my starting point, and this is going to be my shoulder. My shoulder is 13. That's half of 13 is 6.5. So 6.5, I'm going to use 6.5 for my shoulder. Then I'm going to add ½ inch for the shoulder allowance for joining the sleeve to it. At this point here where I have the shoulder, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'll come to those sleeves. I'll take my neck width, which is 3. My neck width is 3. Then I'll make a slant from the 1 inch I came down from here. I'll make a slant to this part. You can see. Sorry, my shock is not very obvious, but I think you should be able to see. Yes. Now I'll come down from here to get my armhole length. My armhole length is 8 inches. You can, some they use what they have as their shoulder as their armhole, while some calculate, or some you just take the measurement. But because and my bust is 32, we divide it by 4, that will give us 8 inches. 8 inches minus 1.5, that's 6.5. So it's the same thing as my shoulder. But because it's a jacket, I don't want it to be too tight. That's why I'm using 8 inches for the armhole to have this free allowance. So I'll just make it, I'll take my bust measurement from here. My bust is 32. Sorry, my bust is 36. Sorry. So 36 divided, that's 9. 9 minus, I'm supposed to have 7.5 here. So I'm using 8 inches. So my bust is 9 inches. That 9 inches, I'm going to add 2 inches for the sewing and the ease allowance. That makes it 11 inches. So from here, I'm going to make a curve. But I'll first make the back armhole curve. That's my first back armhole curve. Then for the front armhole curve, I'm going to divide my armhole into 2, which is 4. 8 is divided by 2 is 4. Then I'm going to come in by ½ inch here. And I come in by ½ inch here. Then I'll make a straight line to this ½ inch. Then I'll curve it back in. So this is going to be my front armhole, while this is going to be my back armhole. Now, from this shoulder here, I'll come down to my half length, which is 15. My half length is 15. On that half length, that's why I'm going to take my waist measurement. My waist is 32. 32 divided by 2 by 4, that gives us 8 inches. So this is 8 inches. Then I'm going to add 2 inches ease and sewing allowance to it. Then I'm coming down again to my hip length, which is 24. Now I use 24. So from your half length, you can just simply measure 8 or 9 inches to your hip length. So you come down, you can take the measurement from the body, from the person's body. My hip is 10.5. Then I'm adding 2 inches free allowance to it. That gives me 12.5. And I'll move the graphic. From here, my gown length, I want the jacket to be 44 inches. So I'm having 45 inches here, because it's going to be a long jacket, but not the ankle length. So there's no need for me just cutting anything out. I will just fold the 1 inch I have as the hemming allowance. Now here I'm going to measurement I have on my hip. That's what I'm going to use down here too, which is 12.5. Yes, so I'm adding 12.5 here. So I'm going to connect these lines together using my ruler and my hip cuff. Since this place is straight, I don't need the hip cuff. So here I'm going to use my hip cuff. You have to know how to place it so that you get the right cuff that you need. Then from here also. So now I can cut out. Now before cutting out, I'm going to take my neck depth. Please move it towards the camera. My neck depth here. The front neck depth is going to be 1 inch. So I just make a cuff. While the back neck depth is going to be 6 inches because it's going to be a V neck. So 6 or 7, let's just use 7. I'm going to add. So for this style now, I'm first going to cut out the front bodies, and I'll separate them and cut the back bodies. Now let's first cut the back. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to separate the back. I'm going to take out the one at the center. That's going to be my back. I'm going to separate it out. You notice I did not add zip to the back because we are going to have an opening at the front. Now I'll arrange the front back. Then I can now cut out the neck and the armhole. So from here, I cut out the neck. And this is my back bodies. Now we are going to cut the sleeve and the band. Excuse me. So we are cutting out the sleeve. Now this is what I have left from my fabric. So to cut out the sleeve, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold this into 4. This is into 2. This is into 4. It's not going to be a pencil sleeve, it's going to be a straight sleeve. So I have to first, I'll take my cuff. These are also put my cuff here. It's just using this because this is what I have left. If you have a longer, if you have more fabric, you can make it 3/4 or long sleeve. So this is my sleeve. So I'm going to fold just 1 inch in. Now the remaining fabric here is what I'm going to use for the collar. I'll see how I can manage all these kimono. I'll first start by joining the shoulder. So get the right part. Okay, this is the right part facing me. So the right part facing me here. Then I'll place my front bodies on it. Now it has to be the left part that will face me. So this is the right, this is the right. So I'll make it this way. This way. Yeah. Good. Now that my fabric is not even enough for the collar, leg collar, I might decide to use another fabric to just make it come out fine. Or okay, so here it is. I will go and sew this shoulder. After sewing this shoulder, then I will attach my sleeve to the shoulder. And after sewing the shoulder, then I'll just fix the sleeve on it. Then after fixing the zip, I will come back to show us the next step. Okay, now I'm join the two shoulders together. So this way, I'll join the two shoulders together here. You can see at these 2 points. The next thing for me to do now is to, let me flip it to the other side. I'll go and take, if you remember, I added 2 inches for the sewing allowance. So that 2 inches I added now is what I'm going to sew now. I'm going to sew the 2 inches on both sides from this side before fixing the sleeve. I'm going to sew the 2 inches down from up downwards. I'll do the same thing for the other side too. The 2 inches I added, I'm going to sew it from up down on both sides. Yeah, like this. Yeah, I'll sew my 2 inches down. The mark is still there. So I'll just sew along the line to this place. I'll do the same thing for this other side too. After that, I'll come back to show us the next step. Okay, I've sewn the two side now. The next thing for me to do, I've sewn the two sides. You can see I've sewn the 2 inches I use as a. Next thing now is to go and fix my sleeve. So this is the sleeve. I'll just sew it with the sewing allowance ½ inch that I added while cutting it. Then I'll use it after sewing it. Then I'll fix it to the armhole. After fixing the zip, we are almost done. After fixing the sleeve, I'll come back and show us how we are going to fix this front parts. Okay. Okay, now I'm done attaching the sleeve to the bodies. Yeah, I'll still iron them out. Then what is now left is this neck and the hemming. So we are almost done. Now what I'm going to do next is to measure round from this place, from the hemming. I'm going to measure it round like this. I'll measure round. So whatever I have is what I'm going to cut out as my hip. So let's do that. Let's see. That means 60 plus 39 is 99, approximately 100. So I need to cut out 100 long of this fabric. So looking at what I have left, I don't think I can. Okay, at this point, I picked the remaining fabric, then I folded it into 4. This is the first folding, then I folded it again to make it 4. I need 2 inches, and for me to get 2 inches, because the 2 inches have to be on fold, so I have to fold. Yes, I have to fold it. That's why I'm folding it into 8. Now I've folded it into 8. Now if I measure, I have 2 inches there. What I really need for my band is 1.5, and I'm going to use ½ inch to join it around the neckline, along the neckline. So that's why I need to cut 2 inches. Join them and make a long strand, and it's enough for what I needed. So I've made the long strand, and this is my center, and I ironed it out and folded it into 2. You can see I have 3 inches, and I folded into 2 to make it 1.5 inches. Now I'll go to my main bodies. I'll get the center. This is the center here, so I will notch the center. There's no need of notching the center because I already know the center with the joining. Where the joining is, that's where the center is. So I'm going to sew from the back like this. I'm going to pick this, then I'm going to sew down this way too. I'm going to sew this one too downward. After that, I'm going to fold the hem part. I'm going to clean it up, then I'll put it on the manicure. I'll come back and show us the finished results. Okay, we have come to the end of this tutorial. I've hemmed the lower part. I've attached the neck collar just straight down. Then the sleeve, I've ironed it out. You can see how pretty this is looking. So here is our kimono jacket. So I'm going to put it on and let you see the look, how it looks on me. That's the final stage. And don't forget the tutorial to the skirt, because I'm going to be wearing it a pencil skirt of this Ankara. The tutorial to the skirt is on my YouTube channel. It's a previous video before this jacket. So you can just search, you can check the YouTube channel, you see the tutorial to the skirt. And also please, if you know this tutorial has really helped you, please try to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, now this is the dress. You can see the jacket looking so pretty on me. That's me trying it on, and I really love it. I really receive a lot of compliments on this dress. If you know this video has been helpful to you, please like, subscribe, and share our video. Thank